Alright, welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga. Today we're going to do a deep stretching of the body with some dynamic movements in between, just to release any tension caught in the body through any of your recent activities. So whenever we do that, I always like to do the centering on the back. So let's come onto the back to start with. And I want you to have a strap handy and maybe a bolster or blocks. Cushions or pillows. And start with the knees together, feet apart. And notice my hands are out 45 degrees from the hips, palm face up. This is a profound way to start a class on the back, letting the back body rest and release all the tension in the shoulder blades, low back, and hips. Turn the head to the left slowly. Inhale the head to neutral. Exhale the head to the right. Inhale the head to neutral and clasp the hands behind the head. And simply start by bringing the elbow, keep the head up, keep the head grounded, and close the forearms around the side of the skull. And then inhale, open, and see if you can touch the floor with the elbows. So you're slowly flapping, elbows close and squeeze against the skull. And then they open. And try to press against the floor. And continue this slow flapping, opening and closing of the shoulders around the skull. And the next time you open, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees splay out to the side. And we'll continue now flapping both knees and elbows. So closing, squeezing knees, squeezing elbows. Opening. And you can hold open or closed as long as you like in any position. Particularly if it feels relieving of tension or awakening that part of the body. Let's continue the same motion, except do a sit-up as you close, so your low back presses into the mat. And as you open, you slowly come back down and open elbows and knees, head resting on the hands on the earth. So we're using the whole spine in the flapping motion. And the next time you squeeze and crunch, lift the knees up towards the elbows. Drop the feet slowly, the head slowly, and open and stretch. So we're adding one more element to the move. Squeeze, crunch, lift, hunch. Lower, open. And once again, holding any part of that shape, that dynamic shape, as long as you like. Now the next time you lift, crunch and hunch, bring the left hand out to the side, palm down. Keep holding the head with the right hand, and you're simply going to roll and tap the knees to the left side of the mat. And then come back to center, hunch, crunch. And then extend right arm out and roll to the right side. And then lower and open into your butterfly. Rest for a breath or two. Close, squeeze, crunch, hunch. Left hand out, roll left. Come to center, roll right. Keep supporting the head the whole time. Close, drop, open, relax. One more round. Close, hunch, crunch. Roll left. Come to center, roll right. Drop, open, release the head, bring the hands out 45 degrees, palms up in butterfly. Turn the head to the left. And then the right. Bring the head to neutral, bring the knees up and cross right ankle over left. So left foot stays on the ground, you're in figure 4. Right foot crosses over. Grab your shin and lift up that left knee. So you're kind of still holding the figure 4, and your right hand, your other hand, your left hand, is going to grab the toes and roll the foot in a circle. Passive ankle. Other direction, roll. We're going to massage the feet here. So take the finger pads of the thumbs, press into the arch. Meanwhile, the finger pads of the fingers are going to press into the bones at the top of the feet. Press all over the bottom of the foot, right up into the toe pads. Squeeze the sides of the heel. Any area that's sensitive, you can hold and squeeze. Now grab your toes, squeeze the pinky toe and the fourth toe and wiggle them. Just wiggle them. Squeeze and wiggle. And then pull them apart as far as you can, stretching the webbing between them. Move on to toe 4 and 3. Same deal. Wiggle and stretch the webbing. Keep going, except extend the left leg to the sky, heel to heaven. You're doing the same action with the hands on the feet, but the left leg is now straight. So we're going to dynamically move that left leg by bending the knee, letting the shin drop, and then straightening. And while we do that, you might need bare feet for this next part, is you're going to take the pinky finger and you're going to insert it between the pinky toe and the fourth toe. Keeping the pinky finger inserted, put the next finger in between toe 4 and 3 and keep trying to insert all the fingers between the toes until you've clamped and opened the toes into a big wide spread and squeeze. Keep pumping that left leg. For 3, 2, 1. Drop the foot, release the toes, extend the legs and let go. Come into corpse pose for 3 or 4 breaths here. And notice the tactile difference between one leg and the other, one foot and the other. Bend the right knee, cross the left ankle over figure 4. Pick the figure 4 up and grab the foot and rotate the foot. Good. Rotate the foot in the opposite direction. And then let's do a foot massage with thumbs and finger pads. So you're hitting the top of the foot and the bottom of the foot simultaneously. Don't forget around the heel bone and the Achilles. And now you can start massaging and separating the toes individually with right heel to heaven. And then you can try separating inserting the fingers between the toes and pump the right leg. Not always easy to insert the fingers. Sometimes you're going to find you need to really press down in between the toes. Oof. It mightn't be used to that kind of separation. For 3, 2, and 1. Release, relax, let go. Bending the knees, float the knees into the air, feet into the air, keeping the knees bent 90 degrees, shins parallel to the ground. Hands out 90 degrees, palms down from the shoulders, and keeping the shoulders pinned, start to rotate windshield wiper with control the knees from side to side. Try to get to a point where the bottom knee is tapping the mat or the earth. And if for some reason you can't make contact, just put a pillow or a cushion down so you can contact the pillow or cushion. The next time your right knee makes contact, pause, hold. So keep that left hand down on the mat, palm down. So even if that means the knees are separate, that's okay. Take the right hand to that top knee and pull it down slowly. Oh yeah. Turn the head to the left. Slowly release and come back to the dynamic windshield wipering from side to side. Keep the arms pinned. And this time, when the left knee makes contact, pause and hold. Left hand can support the right knee down. And then turning the head to the right. Turn the head to the left and float the right arm up and over the body, hand down beside your left shoulder and press up to all fours. In all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Point the toes. Drop the buttocks back towards the toes. Keeping the arms straight, bring the hips back up and over. The chest starts to come over the hands. Then keep moving the hands towards the top of the mat more until you can almost let your hips sag down into the earth. So it's like a lazy up dog. Keep the hands planted, come back, dropping the head towards the mat. And then come back to your lazy up dog. Back. Forwards, and this time in lazy up dog, look up and draw your shoulders back like you're trying to push the chest through the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades, feel that in the low back. And then back slowly, child pose. Lazy up dog, squeeze the shoulders back. This time you can press down on the top of the feet, squeeze the buttocks, and even lift the kneecaps up off the mat if you want. Drop the knees. This time when you come back, I want you to curl the toes. Curl the toes. So you're in a kind of half puppy stretch, half downward child pose, but the toes are getting a nice big stretch. Keep the toes curled as you come to all fours. Keep the hips right up above the knees, but start to walk the hands out to the top of the mat and try to bring the chest to the mat, the chin to the mat, reaching the arms further and further to make the space without bringing the hips forward or back. Carefully walk the hands back under. Thread right arm underneath left and come onto your right shoulder. Roll onto the right knee, right shoulder, and the back of the right part of the skull. Straighten the left leg and simply do leg raises up and down. Toe tap. As you tap, curl the toes. As you raise, point the toes. So working that ankle joint. Now, as you lift the left leg, if you'd like to, you can lift the left arm. And then continue your toe taps. Option the next time you lift is to bend the left knee and grab the left foot and simply pull back on that left foot, giving that left quadricep a nice stretch. You can always strap the foot too. Exhale, release gently. Come back to child pose with the toes extended and bring the hands back. Grab your feet. We call this embryo pose. From here, keep holding the feet. Lift up slowly the head, torso, coming into Vajrasana. Squeeze the shoulders back. Clasp the hands behind the back. And then roll the belly down the thighs, bring the forehead to the mat, and bring the hands up over the head. Tuck the chin, let the crown of the head rest on the mat. Bring the hands up higher. Slowly release back to child, grab the feet. Come to all fours and thread left hand under right. Leaning into the left side now, left shoulder, left knee, straighten right leg. Use the back of the skull for your balance on the left side, and you can start your leg raises. Toes will tap the floor, but when you lift the right leg, you'll point the toes. So you're working that ankle joint as you do this. If you want to add a little balance challenge, lift the right arm while you do that leg movement. And the next time you lift, if you want to go into the quad stretch, you can grab that right foot and pull back. Release gently into child pose. Grab the feet. Slowly come up into Vajrasana, clasp the hands behind the back. Roll forward into Yoga Mudra. Crown of the head on the mat. Lifting the arms behind you. And then slowly come back up and find a seat on your sit bones, preferably on a rolled up blanket or towel, so that you're sitting on the edge of that roll, pelvis tilted forward, strap handy. Let's extend both legs out in front. Once again, find that edge of your seat so you feel a slight forward fold. Toes curled back. And we'll simply do some dynamic leaning forward and then coming back up. So just getting into the hamstrings and the calf muscles. Nice and gradually. Good. Now remember, there's no destination really in mind here. It's based on how the back of the legs feel. If you start to feel the body wanting to compensate, usually where it compensates is we drop the chin to the chest and round and try to hunch forward, but we're just wanting to hinge forward, not hunch or roll forward. So as soon as you feel your body compensating and you feel the tightness in the back of the legs, that's your benchmark. Next time you come forward, pause and hold. And then separate the thighs. Nice wide V. And we're simply going to do the same, except that the hips are open this time. Good. Next time you come forward, pause and hold. Keep those toes curled back. Come on up and bending the right knee, bring that right foot in against the left thigh. Try to have that right knee grounded. If it's lifting into the air, just support it with something. You can support it with a block or a towel or a blanket. And this time both hands on that left knee, sliding both hands towards the extended leg and back up. So once again, just a dynamic forward fold with a twist. The next time you come forward, pause and take the right hand and reach for the toes and back to the left hand. Right hand reach and then back. So you're just tapping it down towards the ankle or toes a little further with the right hand and feeling that twist. Let's try the other side. Good dynamic, gentle double hand movement. And the next time you come to that range of motion that feels right for you, left hand reaches and taps. Tap, release. Tap, release. Tap, release. Slowly come up, change sides. This time grab your strap. If you don't have a strap, use a towel or whatever you got there. So this time with that strap or towel around the extended leg, the left hand, just grab it with the right hand. Left hand's going to grab your knee or your thigh. So you're crossing over. So the left elbow will be underneath the right elbow. And all we're going to do is simply lift up and look up a few times. So we get this, that's it, shoulder motion, up. Good. So releasing a lot of muscles that don't normally get released here. Right into the QL, the quadratus laborum. Now the next time you lift that elbow up, just pause and hold here. And let your left ear come down towards your right knee. So you're lowering and then coming up. You're getting a little bounce going. Now, as you do that, your fingers might even walk, the fingers of the right hand might walk closer to the toes of that extended left leg. Whew. Bringing that right elbow back as high as you can. And slowly release. Oh. Let's pause before we go to the other side. That's quite a head spinner. All right, we'll change legs. Strap up your foot. Left hand grabs strap, right hand crosses underneath and to knee or thigh. And we're simply going to lift and lower left elbow this time. Oh, that's it. Oh. Good. Now the next time you bring that elbow up, pause and hold. And we're going to do lateral flexion, right ear towards right knee, down and up. Oh. And then hold, bringing that left elbow back. And slowly release. Ah. Ah. Let's come on to all fours. And try some cat and cow here. Now remember, with cat and cow, do it in a speed that feels really right for your spine. Mine's quite slow this morning. But usually it comes out at a rhythm of my breath. So as I inhale, I come into sacred cow. And as I exhale, I round into angry cat. Now pause and bring the right knee forward 6 to 8 inches, right hand forward. So you're in a staggered tabletop. And continue your cat and cow with that stagger, right, forward, left, neutral. If the rhythm changes, that's fine. Come back to neutral and then stagger left side. Left knee forward, left hand forward. Cat and cow, staggered, left side. Come back to neutral. Right knee forward, left hand forward. So diagonal stagger. Cat and cow. Back to neutral, diagonal stagger, other side, left knee, right hand. Come back to neutral. Relax back to child pose with extended arms. Drop the elbows to the mat and bring the hands into prayer position behind the neck. Interlace the fingers. Walk the elbows closer to the skull, still keeping the elbows on the mat. And then rotate the wrists with clasped hands. Rotate the other way. Come back to neutral tabletop. Curl the toes. And we're simply going to come back and forward with toes curled This kind of half puppy, half child, and then forward. Back and forward. Stretching the bottom of the feet once again. The next time you come back with bent knees, lift the knees a few inches off the mat. Push the hips back into bent knee downward dog. Drop the knees, come forward, lazy up dog. Back, child, curl the toes, lift the knees, push back, bent knee down dog. Drop the knees, forward up dog, lazy. Keep the toes curled the whole time. Back, lift the knees, bent knee down dog. Forward. Now the next time we come into bent knee downward dog, we're going to walk the dog out. So pressing one heel back, then the other. Keep walking your dog out until you feel a tendency where both heels want to come back simultaneously into full dog. So keep going. When you feel both legs wanting to come back, hold downward dog. Drop the knees, come back to child pose, hands on heels. Clasp the hands behind the low back. Lift the buttocks and lift the arms and roll into the top of the head into Yoga Mudra. Slowly come back onto the shins, lifting the head and the skull. Vajrasana. And then we'll make our way slowly onto our back. Once again, have a block handy or a bolster. And let's bring the hips up onto a block or a bolster. So you're in a supported back bend. Extend left heel to heaven and try to touch the toes with your right hand. Release. Keep that left leg extended, right arm extended, and reach overhead. Push the foot towards the bottom of the mat and reach like you're on a rack with the left ankle and the right wrist pulling apart. Bend left knee. Bring the right arm back. Lift the right leg, heel to heaven. Left hand reaches, so other side. Keeping both limbs straight, lower them towards the mat and reach as if you're on the rack. Oh. Bend right knee, lower left arm. Lift right leg. Reach right hand, left leg. So we're doing the diagonal again, opposite side. Left leg, right arm. Keep limbs extended, reach and stretch. Release, bend left. Bring right down, right arm. Lift right leg. And then touch toe, left hand, right hand, leg. That's it. Lower with straight limbs, stretch the rack, big stretch. Bend the right knee, lower the left arm, bring both knees up, squeeze both knees towards the ribs, bring the soles of the feet together, and reach your hands around the outer edges of the feet if you can. If you can't, use a strap around the outer edges of the feet and just pull those heels in towards your navel. And then open into happy baby. Heels to heaven, holding the feet separate. Knees bent. Heels to heaven, hold the hamstrings, point and flex the feet. Windshield wiper the feet. Rotate the feet. And making sure wherever you are right now that you've got plenty of warm gear. Slowly lower the legs to the floor, remove your prop. You can move the prop under the thighs if you like. And drop into corpse pose, Shavasana. And just noticing what your mind latches onto when you allow it to wander. Just allowing it to latch onto anything it wants without judgment. Don't worry about what it goes to. Just notice, that's where my mind wanders to. Relax your face as you do that. Unclamp the jaw. Continue to lie in Shavasana. And for those who want to, bring your right hand to the face. And gently cover the right nostril with the thumb tip. Breathing in and out of the left nostril only. As you become acquainted with left nostril breathing, take 3 or 4 more breaths through the left nostril. And then release. Bring the left thumb to close the left nostril. Not pinching, just covering the opening. Breathe in and out of the right nostril only. Once you become acquainted with the right nostril breath, take 3 or 4 more breaths and then release. And notice what those first few breaths feel like when both nostrils are open. Now bring both hands together in prayer position, positioning the tips of the thumbs just below the nose. Right thumb covers right nostril, inhale left nostril, and then close left nostril with the left thumb and breathe out the right nostril. Inhale right, cover, exhale left, inhale left, cover, exhale right. Continue that pattern, inhaling one side, exhaling the other, inhaling the same side, exhaling the other, just switching from one thumb to the other. Continue that pattern. And while you're alternating from thumb to thumb, start tapping the third eye with the index fingers. Two more breaths. And then gently release back to Shavasana. Take a deep breath in, exhaling, turning your head to the right. Inhale the head back to neutral. Take a deep breath in, exhale the head to the left. Inhale the head back to neutral. And then gently stand your feet on the mat or the bolster. Place one hand behind the head and roll onto that side. Curl up. In your own time, come to a seated position of your own choice. Make sure it's comfortable and stable. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Thank you.